This is tutorial 8-3 in GIS Tutorial Workbook 2. In this exercise, we're going to be checking for multi-distance clustering. And before we begin, I'd just like to let it be noted, I do not really know much about this tool. I do not really understand the Ripley K function method of pattern analysis that it uses. So if you're really looking to see how this tool works or how to understand it, I strongly suggest using the internet and learning it from there. You can also probably get a limited understanding from the ArcGIS desktop help. And another note is that when I ran this the first time, my data didn't, or my results did not match that of the book. Now, there have been some cases in the past where the data sent out has changed since the time that they wrote the book. That could be what is occurring with my results. I'm not sure. Please feel free to comment on what kind of results you got, if they followed what was in the book or what I got on the video. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the tool. They tell you to use the search feature, but we're just going to use the ARC toolbox. It's located in Spatial Statistic Tools and Analyzing Patterns. And it's right here, Multi-Distance Spatial Clustering Analysis, or the Ripley's K function. Now we're going to use the calls for service, February 2007, and I'm just going to call mine K function. They want a number of distance bands. This is how many distance increments they're going to use, up to 10. This one right here, this compute confidence envelope, we're leaving as is for now. Later on, they'll have us do it with a different option. Make sure you check the display results graphically option. They tell you to do this, but in the book they don't really talk about it again. So, like I said before, I don't really understand this tool that much, so I don't know how to interpret the graphs. The beginning distance we're told to have at 200 with a distance increment of 100. So it'll start at 100 and end at 1100. We're going to leave the boundary correction method at none, and we're going to use the minimum enclosing rectangle. Now, if you have the Arc Info license, they tell you that you can choose a different option, and it'll give you better results that will be both most likely different from mine and the books. And they tell you to use the user-provided study area feature class. And then to choose Battalion 2. Now I don't have Arc Info, I have Arc Editor, so I'm going to change it back. And then I'm going to click OK. Now, from what the book says, this kind of works similar to the nearest neighbor, except that it takes all neighbors into account, not just the nearest, but I'm just not too sure about it to go too in depth about how it works. Like this graph, I'm not too sure how to read. Now we're going to go into our results. And these are the results we have. And the good thing is that these are actually already been put in a table, so it'll be easy to graph. So you want to go to your table of contents, make sure you're on your list by source. We're going to open up our table, go up to the options, and we're going to create a graph. Now we're going to use a vertical line, and our Y is going to be diff K, and our X label field is going to be expected. Now my graph looks somewhat similar. The only difference is up here, this is kind of the peak and it tapers back down. Once again, I'm not sure why I'm getting different numbers. So I'm going to hit next and then finish. And then you want us to add this to our map. So you just right click on the window and add to layout. Then X out of here. And then you just add it to your map. Now they want us to go through again, rerun using the confidence interval envelope. I'm just going to call this K2. Everything else is going to stay the same except for this option, we're going to use 99 pre-mutations. What that's going to do is it's going to run the hypothetical events 99 times. There is a warning that this is going to take 15 to 20 minutes. Before, it took my computer 41 seconds. I'm not sure if it's just because I have a more up-to-date computer than they used. I'm not sure. So once your window looks like this, you just click OK again. And I'm hoping to have more videos on how the statistics of the program work once I have a better understanding of them myself. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of that graph. Like I said, I'm not too sure how to read that. Going to check to see, and my numbers still do not match the computers, but what can you do? So I'm just going to close out of that. I'm going to my table of contents. I'm going to open up my new menu. And in here, they tell us that we have to create a new field. So you just go up to options, add field. They want us to name it difference and make it a float. Then we're going to calculate observed K minus high confidence envelope. And then you just click OK. then we're going to make this into a graph like we did previously. Another vertical line with difference as our y. And expected k as ours in. For some reason it's not showing up. There we go. And then this is what I got. Now theirs is more two large peaks. It goes up here, comes back down again to right about here, and then goes back up. Now I'm not sure, maybe, nope, that's definitely not the right one. So this is the field that they want me to use. Like I said, it could be because the data was changed before the book was shipped. I could just be doing it wrong. I'm not too sure because I don't understand how this tool actually works. You just add that to your layout like you did before. And they want you to note the peaks at the 500 mark. And like I said, you kind of have to understand the statistics to really understand what that is, and I do not. So that's it for this tutorial. I'm hoping to have another one follow this one eventually, explaining the statistics of this a lot better.